it's me, PamVanEe, and I do have my glue book, and I thought I'd show you how I will be using it. I'm going to be using it for this year, maybe next year, however long I fill it up. But I'm not going to worry about a certain order. I'm just going to fill it however I want. And I do have a video, and I'll link it in the description of how I put it together using cereal boxes. The sad thing is it got wet in the travel. So yesterday I used the heat gun and I tried to dry as much as I can. It's kind of wrinkled, but oh well, it is what it is, right? So I'm just going to do the best I can. I don't know if you probably, can you see the water damage? It's kind of bubbled up a little bit. But yeah, I just took the heat gun to it. I don't know, still. So I'm going to try to repair it. And this will be my own. So I'm thinking, this was the front of a cereal box. And then I added papers here. And then that opened up like this. And we have more. And I'll show you that. But here, I can feel and see the water damage. So I thought since there's browns in here, I'd just take some burlap and I zigzagged around. Hopefully it'll keep it from raveling. And I think it would probably help if I added it here, and then you won't see you're not going to see the wrinkling as much. So I'm going to hot glue it. Here. Like that. And then this can also be a pocket. I thought I could put, a card with a year, 2023, or if it goes into 2024, or something in here. So that's what's nice about a junk journal, or, you can fix things. Can be a challenge, but just make it work. So now that will take care of some of the wrinkling. And you can kind of see. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I've done so far. I didn't do a lot in this part. And then I want to leave some things open for things throughout the year, like my grandson's births. And I could put some things here. There's, and this is where it got wet. As you can see here. But that's fine. Tuck. So this will be great for journaling things throughout the year. Putting things in, go on trips or activities. And just added. And then I just brought, if you looked at another video, how I traveled with this caddy. So I didn't have a lot of things, and you really don't need a lot of things. I tend to buy a lot. I don't know, I have fun shopping or thrifting, but you really don't need to. And then here you can see it's a little wrinkled, but this will help, and I could always add another trim. Actually, I brought out some gray because there's gray here. That's kind of a nice transition right here. I wasn't going to add anything, but let's just do, I'm just going to show you, but Let's just do this here. I'll make sure that doesn't interfere with the turning of the pages, and it should not. I did go for a walk yesterday because I want to maintain the walking that I did while I was in Florida. And it is nicer, so yeah, hoping to make that a habit. I like that much better. I didn't like the gap there. And then how far can I, I can glue it. I can trim this up later if I want, or I could just leave a little bit of that dangling there. Okay, so that's the cover. And then this had become wet, so I had to glue that back down. So then you open that up. And I didn't do a whole lot on vacation, you know, because I wanted to do vacation things. Okay, this was so cute, and it was out of a children's book, a large children's book. Now you can see where it got wet here. Kind of crinkled, but I think I could figure out something to put along the edge here. You know, some kind of trim. But isn't that cute? And the little dress goes with this paper here. See, it's kind of wrinkled. Okay, so what I've added, I did bring along a lot of, like, you know, die cuts, so I added some die cuts, and I kind of stamped them. This was a digi. Here, I just tore and then added this. Oh yeah, this is wet feeling. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back, and I thought I had dried it out, but it's feeling wet. Oh, that's sad. All this work. Yep, I'll have to come back. But this is kind of a cool place to write and embellish later. And then, oh, I just put like a couple, you know, places that we stayed along the way. This feels a little bit damp. Then I brought along die cuts, so I had this card that I brought along, and then I added a die cut that I brought of these deer, and then I just had a couple pieces of torn paper for a little texture. And there's some deer here, so I thought that was cute. And then I can add more things in there, you know, just add more travel things, notes. I'll put it that way. And I just add a little washi tape. Yeah, still feeling a little damp. Here, oh, we went to Florida and Cocoa Beach, kind of the area. And these, you know, I can keep adding to it, writing. Oh, I added this little die cut flower from Tim Holtz there. Here, I just was starting to do a trip. Yep, this is feeling wet too. Wow, thought I had dried it. So I can add more things in here, but isn't that cute? So you can just add a variety of things. And it will be fun to journal on, and then this will like tuck in here. But I'm going to have to keep these out to dry. And this is coming undone. So somehow it got wet. I don't know if a water bottle, in travel, or what happened, spilled in the bag that this was in. But I tried to put it in a really safe spot, but then I just added some wrapping paper there to the edge. And of course I will be doing more in a little paper here. Oh, look how cute. This is part of a book, and I don't remember. Sometimes I have things that I've taken apart, so I don't remember the title. But it's a really cool book with this poetry. And it already had the butterfly. I fussy cut out this little bunny, and he's reading a book, and then another, and then I added enjoy this book, and I put the bunny on top of the butterfly. So for my glue book, this is mine, I'm just adding things and recording things that have happened or things that make me happy. I like little, I like bunnies, I like the color blue, things, well, I guess this is washi tape, and this is washi tape, and then a little paper, torn paper there. And then I added this through your eyes, and then I put colorful bohemian, which now needs to be glued down better because it was damp. Okay, and then here I just happen to have this little piece of torn fabric that I added there for texture and interest, a little torn paper, and then this little paper sack for my die, added paper behind it, and then I can tuck something in here. There's kind of wrinkly. And then I added this paper for journaling. And this, I added Paradise is Calling, a couple pieces of paper, and then just, business cards and places where we stayed. There's a country inn and suites we stayed at. We went to this manatee park where you could try to see them. We didn't see any, but so I thought I'd put that in there, and I can journal something on there. This mouse is so cute. Wrinkly, water stain. I'm going to pretend like I wanted that there. I can add things here. Then from a magazine, I added to the stunning, and then I could add more things. So you just can add little by little. Then I had a few things I brought along that I put there, and then I had this torn paper. Added that. This is a pocket, and I had this paper, so I put that in here. Oops. Little torn paper here. Not pretty. The moon and this look pretty together. They're two different books. And I had shown this before where I had the little cutouts, and I made it look like the little elves are on there, and inked it and cut this out, and this paper I cut out. And this from a children's book, I cut that out, put that there. Added this from a calendar, Life is Short, and then I took a napkin, put that on here, and then these are playing cards, and I backed that so I could write on there. So these are little tuck pockets. Maybe I'll put that in there. Oh, I think I showed that. This is from a different book that I added. There's black and white, and I just covered that up. And then these were die cuts. paper scrap. Let's cut these from a dictionary, and this is a tuck. I had to dry this card out. Oh, and this was a cute envelope that I had made from this big children's book. The same one that was from that book. Oops. And then here, I think there's 4 signatures, 3 or 4. And then here I had torn 2 magazine pages. And there's a pocket here. And then this was, we went to there's Frederick Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Park that we went to while my son and daughter-in-law were here, so I could journal in the back of that. I thought that was pretty. And then this was part of it too. There's a butterfly house there. Here's part of the cover of the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. And then I had this beautiful tag that I had gotten from my friend Stephanie with coffee, paper, scissors. So that was pretty there. And then I just backed it because she had written on the back when she gave me Happy Meal. So I just backed it with this paper to kind of coordinate with this. Here I had one of these paper bags that you get at, I don't remember what restaurant now, but I added it, and look at it, it's perfect size there, so I can add things there. And then from a magazine that I had brought, there was this picture, or magazine page that I glued, and it said, "Preserve your memories, keep them well. What you forgot, you can never retell. Louisa May Alcott." This is a little glare. And I had showed this before. It's a Dr. Seuss book backed on this paper, this torn paper. I'm just feeling this because it still feels wet. Okay. Here I added this, and this is the Fred Meyer's Gardens, showing part of it here. It's very beautiful, and it has this there, and that's when we went to visit. And so I just put it in with these papers, tore this for a pocket, added this torn paper, brought that over. That's a sculpture legend. And then this was just part of that butterfly exhibit. And here was a children's garden that's there. So that's an awesome garden that you can visit here in the area where we live. And there it is there. It's so funny. Come to think of it, I'll have to write that on here too. Because while we were in Florida, we kept getting commercials about the Grand Rapids, Michigan area where this park is, and we're in Florida, so that was kind of funny. And here's like a map of the legend of the park. This is from a children's book, and I added washi tape, and I just love colorful, fun, whimsical things. That cat is, I don't know what he's doing, but he's looking for fabrics or something there. And then this side I had shown before, and I added 3 layers zigzagged, and then also made it a pocket here. And because there's cactuses here, I added a little piece of cactus paper that I had, and then I think I showed that this opens up so that you could write. And then I had scrapbook paper, added that, and then this is from a magazine, and then this is a little scrap of paper I had brought along, and that's part of a digi that I had. that I can journal on. And here I started with a scrapbook paper from a magazine, some violets. This was from a calendar, and that's a little banner die cut that I brought along. And then I recently got some stamps that I need to show from Globaland, so I will show those. And so when I was on vacation, I did do this stencil, which I thought was really pretty. Brought in the colors. And then I just took this little note paper and then taped it down with washi tape. Here I just had a little tiny piece of torn cardstock that I added. And then there were birds from this Edith Holden, and I brought that over here. So I just like a book. I love the I just love the color and the page and that's what I like. And I like whimsical. Here's a pocket, and this was a children's book page here. And on it said, "Brush your hair now." And I just added a little piece of washi. And then I added this from the calendar. And never regret anything that makes you smile. And then I had this, and I added that. It says, "Be happy," and there's circles. So I thought that was a fun pocket. Then, oopsie, it's coming up. Still damp. Okay. This is the other side of that children's book page. I love the colors. Here's a little piece of washi tape. Here's a little piece of embroidery from a magazine. This was just a little scrap I had, so I added a couple scraps here. Then I had this card, and I inked up this die cut and added it there. Another little piece of scrap here, and I had this that I tore from a scan from my friend Darla, so I added that. Just a little couple tags that I had. Thought they would be pretty here. Added this piece of cardstock, and I had that thicker die cut and added Imagine for a tuck, and I could add more things. I had this little scrap, and then I had this scrap that I folded it up into like a little ruffle, and then, you know, I can still add more things, but that's like the beginning. Depending what I'm going to journal on, I can add more things. This, I had this is the other side of that children's book page, and I glued it onto this, added a little scrap of paper, made it into a tuck. And this is a masterboard that I had made and scanned, and then I did sew down it and around it. This was a little index card, and I had that scrap of paper. Just some fun, pretty colors. This side, I added a paper bag with a colorful index card. I had this little die cut from some kind of paper pad, added that little scrap. I cut this from a children's book because it just so happened to have raspberries, and this page had raspberries, so I fussy cut it out and glued it, and then I put eat cake, and I could put a little piece of cake there. I could do more. And then I just added another little banner there, like I did here. Added this piece of scrap gingham cardstock. Little cute squirrel, little mouse. And then this was wrapping paper. And I got this from, you know, when you travel, you have so many magazines and things. So I thought I could, you know, so while I was on vacation, I just glued that as, you know, the water and the beach. And then I have more things I can put in, like this was a map of the area, Cocoa Beach, and that would be fun to add somewhere. You know, the streets and places we went, so I can add that. And then we also visited on top of the world, where the cool kids retire. But they had some beautiful condos like that. And a lot of activities and craft rooms and woodworking and golf and lots of things, learning centers. So that would be fun to retire at. I don't know, we're trying to figure it out. One year we spent 4 months in an RV and went down to Texas, but that wasn't really our thing. It was kind of a small space. Yeah, especially when I bring lots of craft supplies. So we tried that. I mean, it was fun, but I don't know if that I'd want to do it all the time. Just added a couple scraps here in cardstock. So now, a couple years now, we've gone down to Florida, maybe twice, last year and this year. So just trying to figure it out. I want to add something along here, and I don't know yet. And I thought this door was kind of pretty from a magazine, and there's a house, and who knows what I'm going to do. There's a little cat under a tree, and then this was a little piece of I don't know, little piece I had, so I put that there, and I put explore. And these cute little mice. Then here I had this paper, added that little piece, tore that paper out, had this from a book, tore it. Pretty. Well, then this is the other side of that little rabbit book, shape book. Added along roads and forest paths from somewhere. Had this envelope that I had made. I had that cut out, put that there. Added a little journal card. And what else? Just added this paper here so far. This must just be that I can use for a journal card. That little pocket I made. And you saw this that I had fussy cut out and put them on that bike. Here, I thought it was cute. I added this, the little library cards. I fussy cut that little bunny out, and he's reading a book. And there's books down here that I added for a tuck. And then I had these little library cards that I put in the pocket. And I just thought I might use that somewhere because it has kind of the colors. So these go here. Isn't that fun? I love all the colors and the books and the library cards and that bunny. Things that make me happy. Here I started, I didn't like this, it wasn't needed to hold in page, but I had a snake. So I'm starting to add things here. This was a die cut I brought. This was a die cut that I made into a pocket. This was from a magazine, a Vintage Lady. This side, a little torn pocket and tuck, and I had a doily and a number. This was a digital that I did a little stamping to. Just had a little banner piece from a calendar. That definition, or that word what, had this little piece, so I added that. And here I just have this couple things from Dr. Seuss. Oh, and this is a place we ate at. I just put it in the pocket because I want to have it somewhere. Book page. Started collaging, talked about creative, fresh ideas, different things from magazines and papers. This was the other side of the Edith Holden. I added this from a magazine. Started to collage here. I did some butterflies on the back of the Edith Holden book cover, jacket cover. This was from like an address book. Just thought that paper would be pretty there. And then this was an envelope I got, and it had the washi tape still, so I thought I could use that. And then this is a thicker bag, and I could open it and pour more things, put more things in it, or just keep it as a sturdy page. Here I'm starting to collage with magazine and pages. There's some cute foxes. I had this tag, added some scrapbook paper, and then I had dyed this die cut. Talks about the fox. I think fox are cute. This was was another fox and deer from Florida. I could write stuff there. Another fox. Pretty page. Here I put Keep Living Life. That's from a magazine, and this is where I had put that vintage car and the bird on top of it. Isn't that funny? A collage of different things, and I think I added this little fabric I had, ruffle and a button. And I can cover this, use it how I want. Started to collage here. Had a little bit of fabric. Started collaging here with washi and magazine, and this is so cute. Look at that grandma. And I had washi tape. And this had gotten wet. And I got this words from somewhere. So I put that on top of there. I'm on a trip to see the world. And she looks like she's on a trip to see the world. Next to this map page. And this is where I had put that from the Dollar Tree, and all things it is better to hope than to despair is like a window. More type of collaging here. Papers and calendars. And this is washi. Oh, this is cute. This was from a children's book page, and I backed it. And it has this cute little bunny. Isn't he cute? And he's a pocket. I started collaging. Is this a pocket? No. Just covered that up and added that little piece. And this was from a book, and it already had this in this library pocket. And then, oh, I got this from a magazine, and I just put it on a piece of cardstock that I brought along and made that to tuck there. So it's so fun. And then I just added this little butterfly so far to bring out some blues. This is from that wrapping paper. Isn't that pretty? Pretty children's book page. I started collaging here. This Port Canaveral. Oh, we did go, and here's just some receipts. We did go on the beach one night to see a SpaceX launch, but it was canceled. The weather was kind of stormy, and there was lightning, so we missed it because the day we left that night, they did have a launch, and we weren't there. But we saw it the time before, the trip before. Here, collaging Di Doily, and I put all the places she'll go. This is a envelope that's been embossed. And this also is a card that opens up on this textured paper. So yeah, I think there's 4 signatures. Just a piece that I can eventually add somewhere because the colors kind of match. Started a collage here with the die cuts and doily and magazine, and oh, I got some sandals. There's the tag. So I think that's started that from a magazine, Made Right. And then I think I showed this before, how I zigzagged, added this to this paper here. wrapping paper. Added this die cut. We went to this Ron John's surf shop. I just have a receipt. A few things. This is a sticker, and I backed it on something thicker to make it a pocket. Added those little pencils from my magazine. Look how cute. And then here, from 2 different magazines, I cut out these words: inspiring, style maker, a little envelope. Added this washi and this paper from a calendar. A calendar will give you a lot of things to work with. Of course, book pages, and these are sturdier book pages. A little washi tape. I had that die cut in that banner, so I added that there. Isn't she cute? And then there's this bird page that I clipped onto here because I love birds. There's a bird there in the water, waves. Pretty. More birds. We have a lot of woodpeckers here. Stitched around this torn paper. I really like that look. I'm going to do that more. And little stickers. This is different layering here to make pockets. Another sticker. This folds out. Just had a bunch of things and lace. Sewed that here. That's from Botanical Gardens, from the butterfly place. Little from a calendar. Another little butterfly. It's a dragonfly. Added this. Is a wallpaper butterfly from my friend Darla. Then I added the little. So this, I'm just going to be working on this throughout the years and then just adding different things. Added these things here. And then this was a little water damage. Paper placemat. Added that here. And then this is the back, and I started that from a children's book. A couple papers. And then I put, that's a wrap that I got from a magazine. It's from a magazine. It says Finish Strong, and that little heart die cut. So that's what I have so far, and then I just can add to it throughout the year what things that I've done, and you know, add more of this type of thing, and the maps, and you know, things that we've done on our trip, things that we do in the future. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time. Bye.